has to have a body shift, what would it mean at the spiritual level? What kind of shift would there have to be at the spiritual level in order to really be truly who you are? So that convinced me further that a choice for the ashram would be appropriate. And I felt that pull. So after I finished being provincial and whatever, I said I wanted a year of silence, and then come to the ashram last week. So even that, it was not arranged that I come here. I was in another ashram somewhere. And what happened there, actually before that, I was traveling by train and all. The doctor told me, you better stop eating all those things in the train because you get amoebas. And I got amoebas. So I had to be careful. So he told me you have to drink boiled water. Now in that ashram, there was aquaguard, but the one which has a flask, a kind of a glass. And after a month or so, I began to have stomach problems. And high fever, I developed high fever. And just the next day I saw one of the brahmacharis take that flask. It was green inside. So I said, oh, now. So I called the provincial and I said, I need to go somewhere, and can I go here to this place? This place was looking different at that time. So she said yes. So I came here, but none of the doctors could find out what to do. So I had to call the doctor who told me I should have boiled water. The first thing he asked me, are you drinking boiled water? I said, no. He said, I told you that you have to drink boiled water all the time. Now he said, you have hill diarrhea and you cannot take anything by mouth. So injections. I thought, oh Lord, where will I get injections in this place? But that also was provided for because opposite there was a house, and the girl there, the woman there, was an auxiliary nurse. So everything was arranged, and she came morning and evening giving me those injections. 2 days, nothing happened. I called the doctor again. He said 4 days. It will take 4 days. So anybody who's doing medicine, hill diarrhea, 4 days, amoxicillin injections, morning and evening. So you can't do that. So on the 4th day, it began to subside. And from then I was stuck here. Stuck means that's how I came here. It was not arranged, but it was arranged. So I'm very happy that I came here because I've now seen what many others have seen before, that it is important to give that attention to oneself at a deeper level, not only the physical, but even the spiritual. And so that's where I am. Sorry.
Could you tell us about your work here and work of the ashram?
The work of the ashram, actually there's no work so much, but we are open to everybody. So anyone who wishes, we have 4 meditations a day.
Okay.
And a satsang in the evening, and yoga. And in between, we keep contact with other ashrams. Anybody who comes, people come with different questions, different life situations. So any kind of help or whatever, then we be in touch with the schools around, and that way. But mostly it is the work of dialogue, if you call it work. there is the openness to all faiths, and the respect and I should say reverence more than just respect for all faiths, and making the bridges between people, because we have enough of divisions in the world, enough of violence. Every division of a kind that allows hatred and revenge to infiltrate is a violence. And so for that to be done away with or to be stemmed, one has to open oneself more and more in a loving way to everybody, in welcome and in reverence. So I have all kinds of people coming, Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, Sikhs, anybody, and all are welcome.
Questions?
Need not be only of the ashram, okay? Questions can be on anything.
What are your hopes for the future?
My hopes
Yes.
for the future. Well, I live day by day.
Mm-hmm.
But my hope is that in meeting people and in sharing what I am living for, there would be a kind of a widening of that spirit wherever the people go. Because many people who have come here, then when they write back, they are doing something like that. Not that they open ashrams, but in the way they live, in the choices they make, in their interactions with others, there is that humanness which helps. There is no way you can end wars with wars. No way you can end violence with violence. It has to come from the heart. And unless the heart is open and sometimes also willing, not sometimes, open to not being accepted. Because people have their own opinions. So you have to allow people their own opinions while you share your own. And you have to also pray that not your opinion, but that creation, which is gift, will be enabled by us to be gift to everybody. Gift to everybody. This is the thing. So it's a possibility, and it's open. It has to happen when we make it happen, and that will take its time. Unless we all have those shifts all together, then you can imagine what will happen. It will be a new world.
Can you tell us how being in this place on the Ganga and among these hills, how the environment, the natural place contributes to a sense of spiritual identity? And
Actually, this place has changed. It's completely changed. When we first came here in '74, it was different. It was silent. Clean river, trees, road without a single vehicle. Right from, I don't know, are you aware of those? There's a line of banks down there.
Yeah.
yes,
It's called Kailash Gate. Okay, after the Madhuban Ashram. That's where everything stopped. The one bus that came from Delhi or Haridwar would stop there. And it was a simple, straight, clear road with big boulders on both sides, trees and monkeys. we still have monkeys. But then they were not like this, all clustered together. They were free. They were like, here and there. But of course, if you were carrying a bag and they thought there was something in it, they would come and look. And they still do. And okay, now we're going to have something. But I won't forget your question. Well, I was born in Mumbai. It was then Bombay. And in a place, in India, in the older days, there were like enclosures, like little villages. In fact, Bombay was all village before. Beautiful, really beautiful. My father had pictures of it. All sea and islands and coconut trees and, nothing of what you see today. So, this, when I was born, it was not like that. The pictures that you could see. And there was no main road passing through this. It was like enclosed. So everybody knew everybody else by name and by family. And since we don't have winters, we are, we can enter somebody's house at any time. They don't mind. Of course, if they're busy, they might say they're busy or something like that. But it is open. So I think the weather contributes to that fact. So we had all faiths living in that area, celebrated all feasts together, helped each other in whatever way we needed. So the big ones helped the small ones. Those clever in some subjects helped those weak in other subjects in those subjects, etc., etc. And the holidays were spent all together, big, small and all, yelling and shouting, jumping and screaming, in houses, out of houses, playing all kinds of games and on the streets and that way. So it was like very, very family all together. And that's the good memory that I carry, and I think all of us in that area would be carrying that memory. Because even till today, people know each other and people can communicate with each other. Somebody's sick in your house, you don't know what, you call the neighbor immediately. It's like that. So we grew up open to everybody, open to all faiths, open to all. And in that also, you have different cultures. Because people are coming from, say, Gujarat or Punjab or Goa or someplace like that, in that area. Although the majority of people are from there. But you welcome everybody. So, and we had some special balls made of cloth, because the big ones, when they hit the small ones, they were hit with force. So all these things were taken into consideration, because we played all kinds of games, all kinds of things. So that was childhood. And so all of us went to school together and things like that. So when I finished, my sister was 3 years older than me, and when she finished college, I finished school. So they said, okay, what do you want to do? You want to go to college? I said, what shall we do if we go to college? Because I see my sister is now having to do some courses in stenography and God knows what. So why go to college? Might as well do those courses straight away and work. So they said, make up your mind. My sister said, you better make up your mind. Because if you are late, I'm not going to take you to the college. Because those nuns will say, don't you know when you have to bring your sister? So, okay. So I was left free to decide, and I decided not to go to college. But in any case, I was late for everything. So my father took me to one of those institutes where they teach shorthand and typing and all this. So I met this director of that place, and he said, oh, she's late, but I will coach her up and put her into let her come into the class. So we began paper and pencil, and the shorthand, with all the R's and O's and all. And I thought, oh, this is worse than algebra. Because you have to remember the sounds with those strokes. So, and I could never remember formulas. I couldn't understand why we had formulas which made no sense. I mean, to me it made no sense. My sister would say, you can't see, I said, I can't see. And my mother would pray that I would pass. But some things I would get 50 out of 50, 100 out of 100 in these same subjects. Because I could see, So, and I thought, oh dear, I've fallen from the frying pan into the fire. Because now, how will I say I don't want to do this? So, I think that he was an elderly man, and I think he sensed that I was having a question. So he put the pencil down and he looked at me and he said, why don't you go to college? In a nice fatherly way, And I thought, oh dear, now the same old question, go to college, not go to college. Now I made up my mind, how can I change? So he kept on telling me, it'll be very good if you go to college. And he tried to encourage me. And I thought, oh, now I've had enough of it. So I said, oh, come on, let's continue with the lesson. And I still remember his face. So he said, okay, and we continued with the lesson. And then I went to thank the principal of the school. He said, what are you doing? So I told him. He said, well, what is your sister doing? I told him. He said, why aren't you going to college? So I said, I'm not going to college. He said, send your mother here tomorrow morning and send your sister here tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I knew. Now my fate was sealed without my intervention. So my mother went and came back with a letter addressed to the principal of the college, and my sister was put in the school. She was very good at all subjects, and she was teaching me, and then she had to do her B.Ed. So off we went to the college. It's a very nice building, the college, a heritage building, and the main entrance is a large entrance with marble stairs, quite long, and terrace on the top and down lawn and all this. Very nice. So we went in there. Oh, one thing, when I was in school, we had a chapel, a very nice chapel, and on the top was written, "The master is here and calls for you." I used to sit at the back and look at those words and think, oh, well, but I never knew where it was from. We walked up the steps of the college, and there was a chapel there. So we went in, and the same words were written there on the cloth, embroidered. But as we turned, before going into the chapel, I knew from inside that I was in the right place. From inside, I just knew I was in the right place. So I did not miss a single day of college, 4 years. Not one single day. I was very happy that I finally was in college, and I loved everything, and I majored in philosophy and psychology. So then in the meantime, I had time to think about life during those 4 years, and I saw that these sisters were very dedicated people, both to education and to each single individual, because in the college, every single student had a mentor. Every single. One of the staff would be the mentor for that student. And she could go, it was a girls' college, a women's college. She could go to that person with any question, any problem, everyone was kind of was important. So I was very happy with all of this, and I thought, well, I think I must dedicate myself to this kind of openness and this kind of interest in each single person. So I joined that society, and we have what they call a novitiate for 2 years, and we did many things when we were in college, and they were very interested in the culture. We had a beautiful college crest which was based on the Upanishads. The Upanishads is a sacred book of the Hindus, and it was the upside down tree, the Urdhva Mula. The roots are up, drawing their sap and source from the divine, and the flowers and fruits and leaves and whatever it is for everybody. So, and that was our the background was a lotus and pearls. The lotus stands for purity, and the pearls also for purity and richness of wisdom. So it was a beautifully executed piece of sandstone, beige with rust for all the artists. So, so I enjoyed life in those novitiate days, but I was missing something. I was missing the interaction that we had when we were in college. So when the two professors, two sisters professors, came to visit us there, they asked me, one of them asked me, how do you like this? So I said, oh yes, all very nice, but you know, this interaction is missing. So she said, what do you think we should do? I said, I think we should make that one the provincial and this one the novice mistress. And that's exactly what happened. She went and told the provincial that, the then provincial, and within a year it was all changed. And we were brought from Bangalore to Bombay, and we had class at 6 o'clock in the morning on Shaivism, Vaishnavism, Bhakti, Indian philosophy, Indian culture, and 6 o'clock in the morning. From a person who was an Indologist, and we couldn't give any other time but 6 o'clock in the morning. So we had these classes, and our second novice mistress was the one who I told what should be done. She was also a musician. That's the one up there. Her name is Vandana. So she was also a musician. So she was, composing and teaching us all these things, bhajans and things like that. She learned under some very good masters. And and she always wanted me to enter into this kind of a life. But after I was teaching travel and tourism for some time, and it took me all over India, and I had to take my students. So I saw differences all over India, and I began to reflect on all this and think of how we are united, and to what depth are we truly one, and all these questions. By that time, she was already in the ashram. She was made provincial, but she resigned. She asked to be relieved, and she started an ashram in Pune. And she was always kind of telling me, your place is in the ashram. But then I was sent to do theology in Delhi, which is north, down there, south, north. North and south is very different. So I saw even more of India, and I realized the spiritual depths was something that we could further enter into. And but at the same time, the world was talking about liberation theology. Liberation. How do we liberate people from oppression and from all these kinds of things that keep them less human? So I was bitten by that bug. And when I finished my theology, they asked me, what would you like to do? I said, if you like to ask me, I would like to go to the village, where? In Bihar. So they said, okay, we'll see. Then they sent me to look, and it was, really poverty-stricken, many of those villages. So they asked me, where would you like to go? I said, well, if you send the community has to decide, because I can't decide alone. I might choose one, but then they may not be comfortable. So we had 3 people, and we went and we looked around again and chose one place. So I was there for 7 years and understood even more what keeps people tied up, what keeps people unable to fend for themselves. But at the same time, what is burning in the hearts of everybody, whether rich or poor, is that yearning for a kind of oneness which is beyond what we know in the human situation. And then I was beginning to also reflect on what Vandana Mataji was always saying to me. What really is the thing that people need? Is it only economic development? Is it only, feeling that you have enough to feed your family and to look after them and find a kind of upward mobility? Or is there something else? So, but then I was made provincial. So, 6 years, I saw even more. And by then I was convinced that it is that spiritual dimension that has to change oneself in order to communicate change to anybody else. In fact, I think Gandhiji said, no? Be the change you want to see. So that applies to all spheres of life. Be the change. So if you really want to liberate people, then you have to find out how you are not tying them up, how you are not oppressing them. You, myself, not this one and that one, or the system. Yeah, that is also there, but first it's here. So, and then if you notice, all the, I want to say great, but all those people who made a difference to the lives of people on earth are those who first looked at how they themselves lived and what their values were and what their options were in life. And it's those people who are remembered. It's not just the economists and the politicians and things. It is those people who touch the hearts and lives of people. So then I thought, yes, I think this is true, that one has to first make that decision to change. And there was one incident when I was doing theology, since I was liberation oriented. There were these, Delhi was very different from what it is now. And there were many resettlement colonies. But in those colonies, there was nothing. There were only shanties and hand pumps from which salty water came out. But there were some people of a higher social status who were visiting these places and trying to help the people. And some of them knew some of the professors in the theology. So when they saw that I was interested, they said, why don't you accompany us? So they would pick me up and we would drive to one of these places. And we would leave the car out there and then walk in and meet the women and the children and whatever. Then after some time I said, well, I can go by myself by bus. So one afternoon, I was in the bus, and the bus stopped at marketplace, but not a small market, it was a big marketplace. And when it stopped, in came a host of people, babies, snowy and dirty, and baskets, and they just flung themselves on the seats. And I was so irritated inside. And when the bus began to move, I suddenly realized that I was going to the same place where these people lived. And I felt like a hypocrite. And inside of me there was a kind of a physical change. And from that day, I don't see dirt. Not that I don't see, but I don't feel. I know it's dirty, I know it's whatever it is, but I wouldn't close my doors just for the sake of it, you know, or stand on my toes and things like that. Because there are people living in that situation. There are
Myself in the culture. I'm Emily, and I'm a social work major, and I have been loving my experience because it's very motivating for what I want to do in the future. So, yeah.
I'm Hannah, and I'm studying women and international development with minors in nonprofit management, teaching English as a foreign language, and women in the arts. And I love traveling and experiencing other cultures. I hope to return to India.
My name is Christine, but I go by Chris. I'm a double majoring in accounting and financial economics, and I came here to sort of expand my worldview, and I also wanted to study abroad and take a class abroad. But I've also been really enjoying the spiritual connections I've been making here.
I'm Lynn. I'm a dietetics major, and I came to India because I didn't think I would ever come here otherwise. And I've been really enjoying just kind of observing their culture and kind of thinking about the way that things are done here and how we do things in the United States. And
I'm Asia.
Say that again, please.
Asia.
Asia.
Yep. My major is ASL interpreting, American Sign Language interpreting. It's actually funny. I was interested in coming to India when I read that book, Eat, Pray, Love. I just thought that she had a really cool experience and she went through some challenges, and it was just, I don't know. I was interested in having the same kind of thing. So, and also studying abroad was something I really wanted to do. So.
I'm Kaylee. I'm a sociology major. I came to India because I've been writing an Indian girl since I was 12, and she studies in Delhi, so I'm going to get to see her, and through her I've been really interested in Indian culture, so I kind of jumped at a chance to go and learn more about where she comes from.
My name is Mary Lou. I did not realize Lily was in videos. I guess kind of did. Anyway. Lily, you're intimidating me.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am a biology major, and I wanted to come to India because I want to experience another culture and kind of see how another part of the world lives, and I figured since it was the global search for justice, it would be good to visit the globe.
Hi, I'm Isabel. I'm studying.
Isabel.
Yep. I'm studying marketing and management, and I have a design minor. And I've always been really interested in Indian culture, and now that I think we've seen some different parts of India, it's interesting to see the different subcultures within India. And I'm really enjoying my time here, and I think we're with a great group of people. So thank you for having us today.
I like these bright faces. Don't you? You'll be enjoying your classes. Yes. Okay.
My name is Lisa. I'm a nursing major. I wanted to come here just to broaden my awareness of global issues, and I think it's very interesting, like the healthcare aspect of it, even though it's not a main component of our class, but it
has really stood out to me.
I'm Andres. I'm an accounting major and a business admin minor. I chose this class because I didn't know if I would ever get another chance to come to India, and I'm really enjoying seeing the world from another angle.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and I'm a food nutrition business major, and then a business administration minor. And yeah, the global search for justice, I wanted to travel abroad, and it seemed like a great option, and I'm really happy I'm here and meeting all these skills.
I'm C. I'm majoring in apparel design, and I came to India here because I wanted to just be open to the issues that they have here, as well as learn about their culture and their aesthetics.
My name is Danny. I'm a sports exercise science major. Pre-PT, I want to work with prosthetics. And I've never been outside of the country before. I've actually always been interested in India. So I thought this was a great opportunity. And I think it's important to experience different cultures and be like, I found this a great opportunity to become more self-aware and self-aware of others in different cultures. So.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm a nursing major. I have a terrible wanderlust. And this was kind of short and far away, and I had to leave my children with my mother-in-law, but I wanted to come very badly because my first babysitter was Indian, and I've kind of always been interested in where she came from and what all the good smells in the house were.
But you can't allow those smells to go out of your house.
Very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
And I'm Robert. I'm a professor of English. I'm a poet and a minor scholar of Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson, who stole ideas from India and also, I think, gave some ideas back to India. And this is the second time I've visited Rishikesh now, and among other things, I like just looking at the bend of the river.
I'm Abby. I'm a nursing major, and I wanted to come to India just because it's a place I never thought I would come, and just seeing the social justice issues and how it pertains to the healthcare in the United States.
I'm Roberta. I'm a public health major, and I wanted to come to India just to learn more about the culture. And since I've been in Rishikesh, I've like been really aware of like my spirituality and stuff. I really enjoyed it.
So, you're all welcome. And I'm Turiya. I'm here in the ashram for quite a few years, and I have dedicated my life to the one whom we all acknowledge or don't acknowledge. And I love to meet people and share whatever gift may come to me, to you. So, you are welcome. I belong to a religious congregation called the Society of the Sacred Heart, and this place belongs to them. But as you see, we are open to all traditions, and we've been here for the last, let me see, nearly 40 years in this place. So,
how long you have been here?
Permanently 14 years.
14 years.
And before that, on and off.
Could you just share your story with us?
Yes,
because
I will.
knowing the story is very important for
Oh, well, I'll have to make it brief, okay? Before that, I will open a door
Yeah,
so
please
that
do.
My name is Sarah, and I'm a biology major with a minor in psychology and chemistry, and in pre-med. And I came to India to broaden my horizons and put myself in uncomfortable situations because I've never done that before, and it's a really great experience, and I'm loving my time here.